Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Jamie Carragher says £30 million Arsenal player has really dropped off recently. Sky Sports pundit Jamie Carragher has claimed that Arsenal star Oleksandr Zinchenko has dropped off defensively over the last few weeks, but still praised him for his contributions earlier in the season. The Gunners spent the majority of the campaign on top of the Premier League table. They showed the quality of champions on numerous occasions, but when it mattered the most, they failed to get over the line. Zinchenko's dip in form is one of the reasons, but he still deserves immense praise for everything he has done for Arsenal this season. When Arsenal signed Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City last summer, the whole squad received a huge boost. You could see right from a preseason that everyone at the club played with a different level of confidence compared to what they had last season. Zinchenko played a massive part in that, and right until March, he was up there with the best players in his position in the entire Premier League. Carragher recognized that and gave him the praise that he deserved. He said on Sky Sport, I went for Zinchenko and I actually think, along with Arsenal, he has dropped off defensively. But I can't forget those months of January, February, where Arsenal were on a great run and he was taking a huge responsibility and going into that midfield position, especially in those games when they scored late. I thought he was a huge part of that, and I think him and Jesus coming in initially lifted the level. I think Zinchenko has had a huge role. Arsenal's struggles over the last few weeks have led to criticism in the direction of many of the club's players, including Zinchenko, who has made a few mistakes at left back. However, you cannot forget how the Ukrainian has helped take Arsenal to a whole new level this season. Pundit questions £45 million Arsenal star, says Arteta needs signing in his position. Darren Bent has admitted that he feels that Arsenal need a new striker this summer, claiming that Gabriel Jesus does not show a burning desire to actually score goals. Bent was speaking on Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel after Arsenal suffered the defeat, which confirmed that they would not be winning the Premier League title this season. It has been a really disappointing spell for the Gunners. They have clearly not battled the league, however, they have failed to capitalize on an unbelievable opportunity, and one of the most disappointing aspects has been their lack of goals in the last two games. They have failed to score against Brighton or Nottingham Forest, and Gabriel Jesus has now only found the back of the net once in Arsenal's last six games. Jesus has shown a lot of quality since his £45 million move to the Emirates. For much of the season, it appeared that he would be the final piece in the jigsaw for Mikel Arteta's side. His record is actually a decent one, with 10 goals in 25 league games, but Darren Bent clearly thinks that Arsenal need a lot more. The pundit claimed that the Gunners need to have their sights set on another goal scorer. He said, I think he still needs to bring one or two more players in, even in areas where people don't necessarily expect. I would go and get another center forward. I think they have to, because I love Gabriel Jesus. He spends too much of his time outside the box. You need someone who is going to stay in there, score goals. When I look at Gabriel Jesus, who is an absolutely top drawer, quality player, I don't see that burning desire to want to score goals. Arsenal are going to have to be ruthless this summer. They have challenged for the Premier League title this year, and they will be in the Champions League next year. They do not want to return to battling towards the periphery of the top four, but many of their rivals are going to be much stronger next season. They do not need an upgrade on Jesus. He is an unbelievable player who does so much for the Gunners, but you can certainly understand why Bent feels that another option who ticks different boxes is required. Darren Bent thinks Liverpool could sign Arsenal target Moises Caicedo. Darren Bent has suggested that he would love for Arsenal to sign Moises Caicedo, but admitted that a move to Liverpool would also make plenty of sense. Bent was speaking on Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel as Arsenal prepare for a huge summer after coming so close to winning the Premier League title this season. The Gunners will return to the Champions League next year and they will be wary of moving backwards, certainly. One of the areas they must strengthen in is the middle of the park. Arsenal have both Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo on their radar. David Ornstein has previously admitted that he is not sure about the possibility of Arsenal signing both Rice and Caicedo this summer, and Darren Bent has conceded that he does not think that Arsenal will be the only team in the running to sign Caicedo. When asked where else the Ecuadorian could end up, he suggested that Anfield may be a possibility. He said, Liverpool, that's the one that makes the most sense. Obviously, I'd love him to come to Arsenal, but outside of Arsenal, that's the one that makes the most sense. Fabinho is getting older, hasn't got the legs anymore. Caicedo is still only 21 years of age. However, he has already established himself as one of the best in the Premier League in his position. Arsenal can obviously offer Caicedo Champions League football next year. Meanwhile, that is unlikely to be the case at Anfield, but much will depend on who offers Brighton the fee they want. The Siglus have shown that they are prepared to dig their heels in for the price they want. They have shown that with Caicedo in January. That is obviously going to be a huge price, but whoever pays it is clearly getting an unbelievable talent. £50 million Arsenal and Newcastle target tells his club he is leaving the season after scoring 22 times. Ajax forward Mohamed Kudus has told Ajax that he will be leaving this summer as he looks to seal a move to the Premier League. That's according to a report from The Athletic anyway, who claim Kudus has informed Ajax of his intentions. The Ghanaian is said to have interest from a number of clubs in England who could scrap it out to complete a £50 million deal. According to The Athletic, Kudus has admirers in a number of camps in the Premier League. Clubs keen on the Ghana hitman include Arsenal, Newcastle, and Manchester United. Interest in Kudus is nothing new, of course. However, his intentions to leave will alert those clubs, and a summer bidding war could well get underway. Ajax will look to bring in around £50 million if they are to consider selling. Last year, they got big money from Man United for Lisandro Martinez, and they will hope for something similar again. Kudus has had another good season with Ajax. He impressed in the World Cup as well and has hit 22 goals overall this season. With Arsenal and Newcastle looking to add new forwards and wide players, a move to London or the North East might very much be on the cards for Kudus. Mohamed Kudus has so much to like in his game. He scores goal, is quick, powerful, and is young enough to improve further. He has a bit of the Sadio Mane about him in terms of the unpredictability he brings with his wide play, but he is also comfortable more centrally as well, which will make him appeal. Arsenal would be a good fit given they play with a free flowing forward, but Newcastle might appeal given their project under PIF, while the links with Ten Hag and United are obvious. Ali McCoy says Arsenal are reportedly trying to make a bigger signing than Gabriel Jesus. Pundit Ali McCoy has said that if Arsenal signed Ilkay Gundogan this summer, it would be a bigger statement than their purchase of Gabriel Jesus. Speaking on Talksport, McCoy was discussing the German's future. Gundogan broke Arsenal's hearts this weekend by lifting the Premier League trophy following their 1-0 win over Chelsea. The Gunners squandered their position in the league, running out of steam at the worst possible time. However, in the context of their recent campaigns, this season has been a success. Mikel Arteta has developed a fantastic style of play and has built a squad in his image. They have recently been linked with Ilkay Gundogan as they look to continue their ascent up the Premier League. McCoy believes that if Arsenal do sign Gundogan, it would be a bigger signing than that of Gabriel Jesus last season. It makes a lot of sense for the Gunners to continue raiding the best squad in world football for signings. Asked what kind of statement signing Gundogan would be, McCoy said, What a statement that would be. It's a bigger statement than Jesus. It's a bigger statement than Zinchenko for me. You are getting a brilliant player, and the age factor doesn't really come into it nowadays. For 32-year-olds, they have kept themselves meticulously fit. There are great pros, and he is certainly that. The only negative is you have not got a sell on, but that's balanced by the fact you might be getting him on a free transfer. He is a winner, and he is a big occasion player. That's exactly what he is. Everyone will be after him. Arsenal want at least one central midfielder this summer, and McCoy believes Gundogan would be an incredible addition. With Granit Xhaka set to exit Arsenal, Gundogan would immediately slot into Arteta's first team. His age shouldn't be an issue given he is joining one of the youngest squad in the Premier League. McCoy's assessment of Arsenal's pursuit of Gundogan seems very accurate. Whether Pep Guardiola will allow another one of his players to join one of their nearest rivals is another matter. Arsenal prepare bid for unbelievable player, but his club think Manchester United will offer more. West Ham want more than the £90 million Arsenal are preparing to bid for Declan Rice and think Manchester United will offer that. That's according to a report from the Daily Mail, which suggests that the Gunners are hoping that the West Ham captain is keen to stay in London. Of course, Declan Rice looks set to be one of the main protagonists of the upcoming summer transfer window. It appears that the time may be coming for the 24-year-old to move on after a brilliant spell at the London Stadium. He has been heavily linked with Arsenal. The Times reported back in January that he would be their top target for the summer, and it seems that their interest has remained over the months since. The Daily Mail report that Arsenal are preparing a bid worth up to £90 million for the England international. However, there may be an issue for Mikel Arteta's side. The report notes that West Ham want a lot more, and crucially, they believe that Manchester United will put a bigger offer on the table. Arsenal do have other target in mind, but clearly Rice has been the player supporters have been particularly excited about in recent times. It's imperative that the Gunners strengthen in the middle of the park. It would appear that Granit Xhaka is edging closer to the exit, and Thomas Partey has been out of form for some time. Losing out on Rice will pile the pressure on. West Ham have had a difficult season, but Rice has been unbelievable of late, and he really made a statement with his performance against Arsenal. But the Gunners have shown that they are not prepared to spend a limited amount on their top target, so perhaps there is indeed a chance that they could miss out. Liverpool and Arsenal interested in ambitious transfer of Bundesliga star. Liverpool and Arsenal are reportedly both interested in a potential transfer move for Bayern München star Joshua Kimmich. The Germany international is one of the finest defensive midfield players in Europe and can also operate as a right back, and it seems his future at Bayern is in some doubt ahead of the summer. According to Marca, Barcelona are eyeing Kimmich up, but they could face competition from both Liverpool and Arsenal for the 28-year-old signature. Kimmich has spent the vast majority of his career at Bayern, and it's hard to imagine him leaving the club. But it seems there is some interest in trying to lure him to the Premier League. Liverpool could certainly do with revamping their midfield, and Kimmich makes sense as a potential upgrade on the underperforming Fabinho. Arsenal, meanwhile, will surely also feel it's important to strengthen in that department after recent dip in form from Thomas Partey, while Jorginho surely cannot be considered a long-term option in that role. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.